What is up? Welcome to Hustle System. My name is Mikhail, and I help people master their mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. In this video, we're going to be talking about shiny object syndrome and how to get rid of it. But first, click the subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. And if you have, but you haven't clicked the notification bell, please click the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload more awesome videos like this. What is the problem with shiny object syndrome? Is that it is everywhere. We're all about the stuff. We're all about the stuff. We're all about the stuff. New iPhone, new iMac, new everything. New everything. Okay? And it's perpetuated in music, in television, in social media. Our friends perpetuate it. We're always trying to one-up each other. And I think the coolest thing to do is to one-up each other on something different. All right? So yeah, it's cool. Like having a dope car is cool. Having a big house is cool. But there's something else that's always missing. I've met wealthy people that are happy. I've met wealthy people that are miserable. And sometimes the miserable people have more wealth than the happy ones. And I always wondered, like, okay, well, we talk a lot about time, how to use time, how you never get time back. If you're spending your time being miserable, how crazy is that? Like let's say some new iPhone comes out, like what do you do? Are you just miserable because you don't have the new iPhone? What if there's a newer version of whatever car you have? What if there's a bigger house down the street? What if you're always living this life in the state of lack, the state of not having enough? Is that really existence the way you want your existence to be? See, you define your reality, okay? And how to get rid of shiny object syndrome is huge, 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 huge. And here's why, okay? You gotta pay attention to this. This is reality, okay? Debt is massive. And debt will take away your time if you allow it. If you allow yourself to get carried away with shiny object syndrome and buy things you cannot afford, what will happen is the universe will claw back your time in exchange. In exchange for that money, it will claw back precious time that you never get back. And that is why this video is so incredibly important, because I see people do this all the time. I'll see girls here in Los Angeles, they'll be living with 3 roommates, and then they'll go and they'll get a several $1,000 purse. They'll get like a $2,000 purse. And they're like, yeah, but I really wanted it. It's like, that's like your rent. They're like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. And it's so crazy because I would catch myself doing it. I'd be like, oh, I don't feel good enough. Right? I used to have like kind of an older car. I used to drive it for a long time. I was like, I don't feel good enough in this car. And it drove me completely insane. And then I upgraded and then I felt good. Right? And that's the problem. That's exactly the problem with this phenomenon, is that the question is why? And I think there's 2 ways of kind of looking at this issue, okay? The first way is I got it because now people think of me a certain way, right? Whatever that thing is, if you want the nicer upgrades, right? People will think of you as the person who has these things and you'll feel that way. But I think the more important one is that you yourself feel like you have the power to get these things. And so when it comes to getting rid of shiny object syndrome, it's actually critically important, because rather than saying getting rid of it, let's talk about how to control and contain it. And for me, the biggest shift was when I got everything I wanted. I kind of looked around, I'm like, I kind of have most of the physical things that I want in my life. There's not like a lot more stuff that I could get that would make me that much happier. Like there's always more music equipment, right? They call that gear acquisition syndrome, but that's like, I've learned to contain that to where I don't need more music studio equipment stuff. So whatever that thing is for you, understand that you can probably get by with less. You can actually definitely get by with less. It's these phases that we go through. Like you ever have that where you go and you clear out your closet and you realize that like half or more of the things you don't wear at all? You ever have that? So think about what would happen if, instead of spending all that money, if you took that money and you saved it, or you invested it into an experience that lasts for a lifetime, right? That shirt that's hanging in my closet right now, it's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna have my back when I need it most. But maybe instead of buying that shirt, maybe I should have taken a friend out to lunch, or maybe I should have done something else, gone on a vacation, gone on a trip, right? So the amount of times that I've had these revelations and looked at it and said, wow, you know what? I don't need all this stuff. I got everything I want. That's it. I'm pretty set, right? I'm in my 30s. I'm pretty set. But I see people even in their 40s and 50s still doing this. In your 20s, I think, look, let's break this down. Okay, if you're in your 20s, get the stuff you want, get it quickly, and then get over it. Okay, that's the best recommendation I can give you. Is just get enough to where you feel that little itch scratched, and then get over it. Because I had that. I wanted the guitar, I wanted the music studio, I wanted the cool office, I wanted the cooler car. Okay, and I didn't feel like I was enough. But as you're doing it, be aware of the process of accumulation. Okay, you are accumulating. That's what you're doing. You're not fulfilling. Those are two very, 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 very different things. And that's where I want to jumpstart this conversation in the direction of understanding the difference between accumulation of assets and fulfillment of dreams, desires, and wants and life purpose. And this leads to this. The accumulation of assets does not lead to fulfillment. The fulfillment is what leads to the assets. Like, look at some of the top people in the world, right? Look at, take Jerry Seinfeld as a comedian. He is great at what he does. He lives comedy, and because of that, his net worth is close to $1 billion from last time I checked. That's pretty impressive. And that's because he was able to achieve the state of being the best version of himself, not being attached to the physical things, and then creating the things and living the life mission and life purpose no matter what he actually has in his life. And that is very, very important to understand, is that you don't need the stuff. As soon as you are anchoring your self-worth on anything outside of yourself, you have failed. And that is the first step to getting rid of the shiny object syndrome, is to define your reality at a much, much more powerful, much, much larger level than the things that you own. Right? It's like, why is Fight Club such a powerful and impactful movie and such a cult classic? Because we are not defined by our fucking khakis, okay? We are not defined by the things that we own or our little furniture set or whatever it is. We are defined by something better. And I think that resonates with people on such a deep level. We understand it, we know it, but we always get distracted. We always go down the street and we see, oh, new iPhone. Oh my God, it's totally marginally better. It's not much better, but it's like marginally better. And oh, the Susie has it. I want to get it now. I need to get it. I need to be the person with the new one. And then you do it, and you got to ask yourself, are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for other people? And that's a great question, right? Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for other people? Like my car, I love my car. It's not the most expensive car, but man, like, I've had it for a while, and like every time I get in, I'm like, I love this car. Like, this is awesome. And like, it doesn't matter if there's anybody with me or not. Like, I just love it. It's like, I dig it, right? Or like my music studio, when I go in there, I'm like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. So if you enjoy owning something, do it for the enjoyment of owning it. But just keep in mind, you're sacrificing an experience, you're sacrificing time, you're sacrificing a lot of these other things to accumulate an asset that may or may not play into the fulfillment. So that's why I like the music studio stuff, because, for example, when I play my guitar, part of my fulfillment is to create music. And so you kind of have these things that go back and forth, right? Or take a really big office with, like I have the 8 screens. That helps me better serve my clients, better serve my students, create better programs for you, create better content, video editing rig, right? That helps me create videos for you guys. So things like that, I think of it as like a means of production. Owning means of production is good if you have that as an asset, but like a shirt doesn't really help, right? Like, you guys will see me like switch outfits. Like, I've kind of stopped doing that a little bit because it creates this really consumeristic domino effect in your psychology that says more, 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 more. And instead of focusing on the present moment, being here right now, realizing we exist, this is awesome, it's amazing, everything's beautiful as it is, and we have everything that we need. Look at that. That's beautiful, right? Just exist. And imagine existing in that state all the time. And it doesn't mean sacrificing all the good stuff that you're going to get. Like, the good stuff's coming. That's what I want you to get excited about. The good stuff's going to come either way. That's the important thing to understand. It's going to come either way. But whether you're clawing for it or you're just open to accepting it, you know what? Being open to accepting it might actually get it to you faster, okay? So that's the first step to getting rid of shiny object syndrome. And this is very, very important, because the moment you do it, the moment you start, is the moment you start to experience real, proper wealth. I know some people disagree. Some people enjoy spending time on luxury items, but I don't know anybody who's truly wealthy who spends so much on luxury items that they don't have enough left to deal with other things. So it's fine to get that thing because you enjoy it or you think it's cool. That's not a problem. But it is a problem when you have, say, student loans and you're buying things you shouldn't be getting, mortgage, car payment, all these things that you're having a hard time fulfilling. and yet you're still chasing the next buzz. You're still chasing the next thing, right? And that's why a lot of people are very unhappy, because their time is pre-sold. You're pre-selling your time on layaway to a company, essentially, that now owns a part of your life. I mean, that's pretty terrifying, knowing that somebody owns a part of your life. That is, I mean, that's just surreal if you really start to think about that. And it's masked, right? It's masked under payment plan. It's masked under loan. It's masked under, what all these little things that then trick your brain into thinking it's okay. But no, it's not okay. It's not at all okay to take your precious time and give it away and sell it for pennies on the dollar with interest. Like, that's not an okay thing to do. It's been made okay by society because it's very profitable. But for us on this channel, you have to understand, for you on a personal, deep psychological level, and it's not even like of benefit to me because I'm a marketer to tell you this, but it's not okay to do that for yourself, for your own personal power. If you want to give away your personal power, just be very aware of the fact that when you get that thing you really can't afford, you're giving away your personal power and you're trading your time for money, for pennies on the dollar. And I think once you really realize it, once it really sinks in, then that shiny object syndrome totally goes away. Like, my buddy really likes these fancy jackets, and whenever I see him with a fancy jacket, he's like, I look super cool. And to me, it's the ultimate facepalm. It's the ultimate facepalm, because all I see is the time and the effort and this energy that person never gets back, that went into like this item that's it's not alive, it's not real, it doesn't create anything, right? And so to me, it's everybody has their different approaches, right? But to me, it's just very silly. It's very kind of juvenile to look at it that way. Whereas I'm like, wow, like what if we took all that money and we started helping the planet, and we started changing the world, and we started building amazing technologies that improve humanity? What if that was the goal of every person that goes into a store and buys a new thing? What if we totally switch the global perspective to say, what's really important? The jacket's not that important. What's important for me, guys? It's important that my kids' kids and their kids and their kids and their kids have a place here on this planet that's beautiful, that's amazing, and that we don't mess up the ecosystem so bad that it's irreversible. That to me is far more important than any jacket or anything I own. And I guess maybe that comes with maturity, that comes with time. But I think once you realize every time you get something, you're trading time that you don't get back. And if you're doing it for something you can't afford, it's pennies on the dollar and with interest, and you are selling a portion of your future, that makes that shiny object syndrome go away real quick. And at that point, you don't mind so much if somebody has a newer iPhone or a newer car or a bigger house that they may or may not be able to afford, or whatever new thing that they have, or some designer thing, right? You just kind of like, wow, okay, that's cool. So that's what you're attached to. So change your attachments, focus inwards, be present in the moment, be happy, exist with what you have, be happy and grateful for the things that you have. And just keep in mind, it doesn't disqualify those amazing things coming. I love nice stuff. You should love nice stuff. It's great. It's cool. It shows you you're powerful. If you can create nice things in your life, it shows you your true power. But remember that power comes from within. All right? So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate you. I love you. As always, this has been Hustle System. My name is Mikhail. I help people master their mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. If you have not yet checked out our mentoring program, I highly recommend it. I'll include a link down below. And comment down below. What's something that you have in your house that's totally useless? Now, look around your house right now. What's something that you haven't touched in a month? Guarantee you there's something. Look around. What's something that you didn't even realize was there until I told you to look around? And then ask yourself, what if you had just never gotten that thing? It's a little bit silly, but it's kind of true. So this has been how to get rid of shiny object syndrome. Hustle System. My name is Mikhail. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.